be a sponge, and then bring the juice.
By focusing on your improvement, by focusing on your progress, and eliminating any fixed mindset that you may have and acts of perfectionism, then you encourage your own mastery.
On some level, we do what we want to do 24 hours a day. Now, sometimes it may not seem like that, but if I'm choosing to work instead of sleep, what I'm actually saying is keeping my job is more important than sleeping.
I'm tired of this. I'm tired of getting beat. What can I do to get over this hump? So mentally, that's when I kind of put that forefront, like, hey, it's either all or nothing.
I like to put failure in quotations because I don't believe that failure is true failure if you're looking at it with the right mindset.
The truth is, the journey to greatness is hard. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes focus, and every day you have to decide what you value, what you want to pursue, and what you want to achieve. And if you dig deep enough, if you push hard enough, we all have what it takes to be great. Welcome to the Edge of Greatness. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Dose. It's Thursday, April 13th, and it's amazing. I don't know what part of the country you're in while you're listening right now, but it's amazing to me how many people have been reaching out to me and telling me how great they feel. Because here in Ohio, the weather has been beautiful. We're getting into some springtime. People are getting outside again. The sun's shining. And it's just been a refreshing change to the normal gray and cold that we have during the wintertime. But it made me think about something here because I don't typically have that big up and down effect. Like, I love it when the spring comes around. Don't get me wrong. I love being outside. I love when the sun's, yesterday the day before I sat on my porch and did a lot of my work. Yesterday I went for a walk around the block with the kids and played outside until the sun went down. But the truth is that I'm not getting that same, oh man, I can't believe it. It's great. It's spring. My mindset is so much better. I feel so much different. And I think that it comes down to three things. And these three things can make a huge difference on staying steady through the winter months. So start to develop them now, and then next winter when it comes around, maybe you won't have that same dip. So here's the three things. First is exercise daily. Now, this is great during the spring, summer, because you can get outside and go for a walk, and that counts. That's perfect. Be active. Eventually, when it's too cold and you don't feel like being out in that, you have to find another way to maintain that exercise habit. So I think part of the reason why we see this change is because during the spring and summer, more people are active because we're outside, but they don't continue that activeness when they come indoors. So find a habit that you can keep and start to exercise, and make sure you remember that when it starts to get cold again, that energy expenditure that you're doing, you have to continue it in some way. Whether that's get a membership and walk on a treadmill or start lifting weights, build your own home gym. I'm going to get kind of more into that over the next few months because I think that's an excellent option and something that more people should do. But that's part one. Part two is find a mentor, coach, partner, friend, someone that you can talk to regularly about what you're working through. It can be a group of people. It can be an individual. It doesn't matter the size, the scope, and how you put it together. All that really matters is that you guys get together, you talk about things that are important to what you're doing in this moment. You work to progress. They ask questions. You ask questions. There's curiosity. There's encouragement. There's promoting of what you should be doing next, support, and all of those other things, because it keeps you in a good mental state for when it's time to start to do the hard work. And having those people and building those relationships can continue to maintain your level of sanity when you're stuck in the dark and the cold of what winter ends up being, right? Ends up being a lot of dark and a lot of cold, especially in this part of the country. So if you're in the Northeast or the Midwest, or however we want to describe Ohio, it's cold and gray, and it takes a few months before you thaw back out once the spring hits. Something else that I've been really working on lately, and this is number 3, and I find it to really help with keeping my mental state consistent. There's less ups and downs. I'm not finding myself being as angry at different things that used to upset me, or as anxious about things that I don't know yet to come, is meditating and breath work. It's one of those things for a long time I thought was hokey and goofy, and for the woo-woo crowd, I blame it on being an ex-jock or whatever you want to call it, but meathead. But the truth is that I've found peace in learning how to do different types of breathing exercises. Simple ones as quick and easy as what Ty shared with us a few episodes back, where you take the long breath through the nose, short breath after, long breath out. Do a couple of those, and I find myself right back where I need to be. The other thing that I've been doing is something that Chris Bailey's talked about, is just the mindfulness meditation and focusing on your breath and just sitting for a few minutes to just slow down, calm yourself, let the day kind of go by. I think if you do those 3 things and you get good at them and you then maintain them when the winter hits, I don't think we'll see that big up and down that we had this year from a lot of my people that have been reaching out going, man, I feel so much better. The sun's out and the weather's changed. Now, you're still going to feel good and you're going to be excited about that sun, but it shouldn't be something that you only operate in the spring and the summer. Like, that is not what we're shooting for. We need some consistency here. So find a way to create that balance, and it could start with those 3 things. If you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help. I'd love to talk to you more about this. If you need somebody to be your number 2 on the list, coach, a mentor, friend, partner in crime, whatever you need, that's where I come in. I can do a lot of that for you. So go ahead and hit me up, shoot me an email, charles@theedgeofgreatnessproject.com, and we can go from there. But enjoy this beautiful weather if you're in the Northeast and the Midwest. And as always, keep reaching for the stars. Fall flat on your face. Remember, whenever you fall, always get up. Thank you for joining us today on the Edge of Greatness podcast. If you haven't yet, please take a minute now to subscribe and review our show. Join us again next week as we continue to dig deeper into the key components of greatness. The path to greatness is never linear, so remember to keep pursuing greatness no matter what. Keep stretching your abilities, reach for the stars, and fall flat on your face. But remember, no matter what happens, whenever we fall, always get up. Until next time, I'm Charles Schultz, and this was the Edge of Greatness podcast.